What's up everyone, it's Haz here again. Hope you're all enjoying Unicorn Overlord, Vanillaware's newest strategic jrpg that took everyone by surprise with its unique gameplay and charming graphics, but also with its very easy to get lost in gameplay. While we did get a bunch of fantastic tactics titles recently, Unicorn Overlord is quite a bit different from the rest of them, and exactly because of that in this video I've prepared 5 beginner tips that should help you have a smoother beginning experience. These tips I'll share are much more of a broad type of hints rather than your do this first or do that second kind of deal, and instead I aim to set you on the right path at enjoying Unicorn Overlord on your own and have a great start. But regardless, I also plan on creating a lot more guides and tutorials around specific topics, so if there's anything you're interested in specifically, be sure to let me know in the comments. My first tip is about tactics. It should be needless to say that tactics and their conditions on your units are the bread and butter of Unicorn Overlord and will be one of the most important aspects you will be tinkering with as you perfect your army and its several different unit formations. It might be intimidating at first to go through everything, but right at the start of the game, especially on higher difficulties, setting up proper tactics will be the night and day difference on how your army performs in battle, and the sooner you understand how they work, the sooner you can get deeper into the game's mechanics, but also considerably increase your own enjoyment and excitement of the game, since each new unit you unlock will open up a lot more opportunities to you once you understand how to set them up properly. Since the game has automatic combat right at the start, even the simplest of changes in all of your offensive tactics conditions, such as setting them up to target the enemy with the lowest HP first, will have a huge difference in your battles that you'll focus on a single individual enemy instead of spreading out your damage on several of them. Of course, this is just a super basic example, but it already highlights how big of a difference such a small change makes even at the beginning. Another very basic example here is if you choose to combine a unit who can guard with a thief who dodges attacks, it can be useful to set up that your shielded units only guard the thief from damage once it has less than full health, since until then the thief can simply evade all attacks without danger, but otherwise your lord or hoplite will keep guarding them first and take unnecessary damage that they could preferably avoid. Experiment and learn how to use your tactics from the very beginning, and if you like this gameplay system, you'll notice your enjoyment of Unicorn Overlord skyrocket as you get better at it. Tip number 2 is to speak with villagers. Make sure to talk with all the NPCs and villagers you see around in the overworld. I know a lot of people don't like to read, especially all the filler dialogues, and I personally don't think this game has that great writing. But exactly in classic JRPG fashion, a lot of the secrets and hidden tips of where you find special items or how to defeat bosses are in these side dialogues that you can normally skip. A lot of them will be tutorials at the beginning, but often you will also find hints on how to use certain units or unit types. Other times, they will straight up tell you hidden mechanics or what kind of treasures you can find in that particular zone where you talk with them. I play on the highest difficulty, and what I found to be the most useful thing here is that if you talk with all the NPCs, they will often reveal the perfect route you should take exploring the overmap, giving you clear hints against bosses and their weaknesses, like if you will need to use magical damage against them or range units, and they will help you set up your armies for tougher battles and prepare for the future. Now, once you get just a few hours into the game, you will unlock your special Valor Skills. Valor Skills are special abilities you will be able to use in the stage phase of battles once you're in Valor and fill up your Valor gauge, through either defeating enemies, picking up items, or capturing objectives. Valor Skills' first and most obvious role will be to use for your advantage in combat, like dealing damage, increasing your mobility, or giving yourself more defenses. But what I noticed from the get-go is that by far the greatest advantage I could amass at the beginning of my campaign was through the use of supportive Valor Skills such as Plunder from Travis or Royal Order from Elaine. Royal Order is a 2-point Valor skill that increases the experience gain of one army on your map by 100% for the next battle and can be used to level up your units extremely fast or catch up with a brand new army as you create them, especially if you use it at a boss stage. And this way you will increase your overall strength a lot faster and unlock your new skills and attributes too. It can be very tempting to use all your offensive Valor skills as you get them, but I've noticed you don't really need them, especially at the start, as you can often come up with much better strategies that don't require them, and it's much better to spend them on supportive skills that carry on and help you long term with lasting effects. Same way, Plunder from Travis is an incredibly useful Valor skill, as it will steal gold from the enemy units for the price of just 1 Valor point, and you'll be getting 800 to 1000 gold even at the beginning stages of the game, allowing you to buy much better items and equipment from towns that overall help you a lot more to get stronger and be unstoppable in battles, either through healing items and other supportive items or just sheer better equipment. And while we're talking about shops and better equipment, my fourth tip is of course to make sure you check every single city and fort separately as you unlock them, as they are all unique. It can be quite easy and simple to just skip out on them and forget checking the shops, especially if you aren't bumping into any difficult fights immediately, but what's important to know is that every single town you unlock will have at least one unique item at their armor that you can purchase, and often they're very powerful too for the stage of the game where you're currently at. This is exactly where the benefits of using Plunder every battle and every opportunity you have really shows, as you will amass such wealth that buying all the unique and more powerful items from the armorers will be no issue, and as a result will make you a lot stronger than you would normally be able to, so make sure to check out all the unique items. Very similarly, once you unlock your ability of hiring mercenaries from forts at Renown rank D, you might be upset at the start that you can only choose from a select few mercenaries on the higher screen, and the ones you really like aren't there for you to recruit and create your favorite army combinations, or the ones you've read online. Make sure to check every fort in each zone, as the mercenaries you can hire change based on the region you're at, and often you'll be able to hire units that are unlocked or are known for that specific region. And finally, my fifth tip is what I usually like to point out at games that have this feature, but in the case of Unicorn Overlord, I simply can't stress this enough. Make sure to check out the in-game codex or library and use it frequently. Seriously, in most games I think we forget to check the codex, as it's generally just a collection of basic tutorials you've already read, massive walls of text, or a summary of the story you still remember and characters you've met so far. Now, the library and codex in Unicorn Overlord, on the other hand, is probably one of the, if not the most useful help and assistance you can get in the game, as it will be a collection of all the information and mechanics of the game, even countless tips that the tutorials never mention to you, and the best part is that it's really well organized and well condensed. Here you will find a list of every single unit and unit type in the game, even bosses, which is quite impressive, with all their animations you can play for your enjoyment, or a list of all the tutorials you've encountered so far if you like to read something again. But this is where it gets really cool and interesting, as it is technically speaking an in-depth Wikipedia of every single unit type, ability and mechanic you will ever encounter in Unicorn Overlord. You can learn the strengths and weaknesses for every single unit, with proper examples what to do against them. You can read about hidden mechanics behind unit types, how to use them to your advantage or what are common mistakes for them, and countless other valuable things. You can find the exact description of each mechanic in the game, how initiative works and how it is calculated, or if damage is affected, what row a unit is in, what is the exact damage calculation formula for each type of ability, or what are the unit type modifiers when it comes to setting them up against each other, like archers dealing double damage against flying class units, or melee units dealing half damage against flying units. So needless to say that the library in Unicorn Overlord is a treasury of knowledge, and if you enjoy this type of game, then I highly recommend starting to read it and checking each mechanic, as if you read everything in it, then you truly won't need any guide or tutorial about how to play the game, as you'll have a clear understanding and knowledge of all the mechanics, and you can get straight to looking for tricks and special formations that people have found to work really well. So those are my 5 beginner tips that I think will greatly help anyone who is just getting into Unicorn Overlord and might look for more generic tips instead of game-breaking tips and secrets at the start, or even if you're looking for some guidance on where to begin and how to have a good start. Hope my 5 tips have helped you or you found them interesting. Personally, the biggest surprise to me again was definitely the in-game codex, and that alone would be worth a video of its own really on how amazing it is. But regardless, I will be releasing a lot more specific guides and tutorials soon on the different mechanics and strategies you can use in game, so if you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe, as it greatly helps and will notify you once I upload something new. Thank you for watching everyone, greatly appreciate all the support, hope you're enjoying Unicorn Overlord, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you the next time.